Therefore, we will invite these special personalities to take their seats on the table, and we continue with a very brief program, which is the event for the handover Federal Republic of Nigeria, and of course, here ably represented by none other than the permanent. He is here in the capacity of the Vice President of the Federal Republic. All right, I've just been told it's good news. God knows a galley. And Anamo is also here. Please put your hands together. Francis Ikio is also here. CS Winia also here. Engineer Basi Okwa of the board. Please put your hands together for all of them. The MD CEO of PHCN, Engineer F.R.O. Onanuga, is here in person. Please put your hands together. Let me quickly run through, please, the front seat. It's very important. Can you put your hands together for all the NEC people that are here? Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission. You're all specially welcome. Please put your hands together for yourselves for being here in person. At this point, we'll move straight to the very next item on the program, and that is the welcome remarks by the current CEO MD of PHCN, Engineer F.R.O. Onanuga. Please put your hands.
His Excellency, Architect Sambo and Amadi Sambo, and Chairman National Council of Privatization, ably represented by the Honorable Secretary, Federal Minister of Power, His Excellency, Ambassador, God knows, Gabi, the Chairman of 4Power Consortium, I wish to thank the Almighty God for giving us today and making it a reality. Nigeria is making history today as the first country globally to have successfully privatized electricity industry at a go. This great achievement would not have been possible without the strong political will of His Excellency, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Dr. Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, CFR. Thank you and congratulations, sir. We salute the doggedness and the resolutiveness of the National Council of Privatization under the able leadership of His Excellency, the Vice President, Federal Republic of Nigeria, Architect Amadi Sambo, DCON, FNI, for this remarkable achievement. It is very important to commend the effort and sacrifices of the entire team of the Bureau for Public Enterprise, starting with Director General Dr. Benjamin Dickey, for putting Nigeria in an enviable global position in the history of reform implementation and achievement. This process has been adjudged as the most transparent globally. It is equally very necessary to commend our articulate, God-fearing Honorable Minister of Power, Professor Chinedu Nebo, OON, NPIOL, and his wonderful assistant. In fact, our guy is here today wearing about 3 caps. The Permanent Secretary, the Minister of Power, His Excellency, Ambassador Godnose Igali, for their unrelenting support and sacrifices towards this achievement. I wish to also thank and appreciate the 4 state governors and the good people of Rivers States, Cross Rivers, Calabar, Bayelsa States for the conducive environment under which we operated, and hereby solicit that they extend same to the new owners. I equally congratulate the management and entire staff of members of Port Harcourt Executive Company for being part of this history, because history is moving today. Likewise, the 2 unions of PHEDC Handover and the SIAC for their commendable support and roles in realizing this achievement. To Mrs. 4 Power Consulting Limited, I say congratulations. Your belief in the process and in Nigeria has made you the new owner of Port Harcourt Executive Company. We all know that the privatization of the power sector was embarked upon to majorly bring investment and efficiencies through best practices into the. We strongly believe and very optimistic that this will be achieved in no distant future, having been privileged to interact with your technical team and the level of determination exhibited. Consequently, I wish to humbly all here present on behalf of the management and staff of Port Harcourt Executive Company to this epoch-making event ceremony. God bless Port Harcourt Executive Company. God bless 4 Power Consulting Limited. God bless BPE. God bless the Ministry of Power. God bless National.
Thank you so much, RMD CEO, Engineer. Your Excellencies.
Of 2.5 years of persistent hard work and a commitment to the relentless pursuit of bringing much desired progress in the power sector through privatization. As you are all aware, our people have invested heavily in the power sector in previous years, but the benefits have been slow in coming. It is our hope that starting from this moment, that rate of return that has hitherto been slow will accelerate to a supersonic speed, turbocharged by the zeal and enterprise of the private sector given for power consortium. May I therefore present to you the core investor in Port Harcourt Electricity Distribution Company, the 4 Power Consortium Limited, 4 Power. 4 Power is a partnership of 9 investors that came together under a consortium agreement to bid for the acquisition of 60% shares of Port Harcourt Electricity Distribution Company, PHED, under the privatization of electricity sector program undertaken by the Bureau of Public Enterprise, BPE, on behalf of the Presidency. As investors, we are taking up the challenge to make steady power a way of life and make a difference in our lives and for generations to come. We accept this challenge willingly and without reservation for the benefit of accelerated socio-economic growth and industrialization in this region. PHED covers 4 states, namely Bayelsa State, Rivers State, Akwa Ibom State, and Cross River State. The service territory is 39,206.25 square kilometers and a total population of 14 million people. As at now, only 530,000 customers, a paltry 3.8% of the population, are connected to the national grid, with hardly much power flow to be enjoyed. We have inherited the problem from the past and commit to adopting permanent solutions to vanquish darkness from our corridors forever. Power Consortium consists of a group of businesses and individuals with proven track records, united by the common desire to create an enabling environment for socio-economic growth, a better quality of life for homes and businesses within our area of coverage. We are convinced that the Nigerian power sector can deliver reliable, high-quality service with attractive return to investors. Permit me, therefore, to introduce the consortium partners of Power Consortium. Laleka Brothers, a leading engineering company which offers a wide range of services incorporating all aspects of mechanical and electrical engineering, transmission lines, water treatment and trunk lines since 1919 when it was founded by the original Laleka Brothers. Laleka Brothers has grown to be a national and international company operating in the steel, oil, gas and coal industrial sectors of engineering, whilst being equally well known in the government and commercial sector. Income Electrics is an integrated power company with over 20 years experience in providing end-to-end power solutions, from project concepts through engineering, procurement, construction, commissioning, operations, and management. The company has particular expertise in working in difficult terrains such as in Sierra Leone and Niger Delta region, in the areas of generation, transmission, and extended street light furniture. It has distinguished experience of building distribution network in all 4 states of PHEDC. Calcutta Electricity Company Supply Company is a fully integrated utility with its operations spanning the power value chain from mining coal, generating power, and distribution of power across 567 square kilometers of licensed area in Kolkata, India, serving over 2.6 million customers, both consumer households and commercial establishments. Their participation in this venture is their first move to being a global distribution company. They also see this as an opportunity to transfer core competencies to the Nigerian electricity sector and deepen their track record. Televeras Group of Companies Limited is a wholly owned Nigerian company with a consolidated global turnover in excess of $3 billion, offering strategic solutions in energy, power, and construction services. The company's activities include physical trading of oil and refined products on a worldwide scale, trading in excess of 10 million barrels of crude oil, as well as over 2 million tons of petroleum products annually. Televeras has a significant number of civil engineering, power distribution, transmission projects, which showcases its relevant and extensive experience. The company's expertise and partnership enables it to play in power generation, transmission, and distribution. Skyview Power Technologies Limited, an emerging service company providing mechanical and electrical works, transmission line works, sales and services of transformer, electric cables, power projects. The company has an extensive success in the construction of electricity overhead lines, installation, maintenance and repair of power lines, substations and electric power plants for electricity generation. Akwa Ibom Investment and Industrial Promotion Council, AKIPOC, is responsible for driving the Akwa Ibom State Government investment in industrial promotion activities. AKIPOC has been involved in various infrastructure development projects spanning water supply, aviation, road construction, education, healthcare, etc. In the power sector, it has commenced a major project to provide uninterrupted power supply to Akwa Ibom State, with a surplus to be fed into the national grid through Ibom Power Project. Paradise Power Limited, a company registered by Cross River State Government to generate and distribute electricity. The company is currently engaged in the development of a 40 megawatt IPP gas power plant. It also collaborates with the Cross River State Electricity Agency in the extension of electricity to rural communities peri-urban and rural communities. Paradise Power Nigeria Limited is in the process of evaluating renewable energies, small-scale hydro, solar energy, and wind energies in strategic locations in the state. First Independent Power Company Limited is a Rivers State government-owned IPP with 4 power plants in Omok, Kansamade, Eleme, and Afam, with a total generation capacity in excess of 700 megawatts. It was registered to carry out the business of the provision and sale of power or related services in both rural and urban areas. It also owns transmission lines in excess of 250 kilometers at 132 kV voltage levels and substations. First Independent Power Company Limited is Nigeria's first ever independent power plant owner. Bayelsa Electricity Company Limited, registered by the Bayelsa State Government to generate electricity, is involved in many power development and delivery initiatives. In power infrastructure and investment alone, the value of its asset is worth over 40 billion naira. In 1983 to 2007, the company is also involved in several generation projects, which include gas turbine projects. To mention a few. As a group, the 4 Power Consortium will support the new PHED to fulfill its mission to enhance vitality of the region and deliver returns to all stakeholders. I want to thank Mr. President for pushing through the power reform initiative. This scheme started since 2005. Today, we have come to the end of it and to the new beginning of a new era where Nigerians will enjoy power and enjoy it more abundantly. I also want to thank the minister who has finally taken this initiative to its conclusion. If you recall, this process has consumed at least 2 ministers. We are happy that it is in the time of Dr. Goodluck. God knows legally that eventually power has become a private business that will be driven with the zeal that is required to make it available to our people. I want to thank the governors who came together to pursue the acquisition of PHEDC. If you observe in the entire privatization process, it was only in PHEDC acquisition that government got seriously involved and became successful. The zeal of the governors and the cooperation of those who worked with us in the technical steering committee to pursue this objective was awesome, and I thank all of them for the role they played in our getting to this point today. I want to thank the private sector for having confidence in the process and for putting their money in this particular venture. Let me also thank PHEDC for holding the fort and cooperating with the process. I know the ordeal it was to run the power sector under the regime it was being run. I know how difficult it was for you to get things going. I know that this sector is coming into a situation where you can work and hold your head high, knowing that you can deliver the power you promised to deliver to the people. Finally, I thank the people and to urge them to note that this is business for those of us who are here, but it is you who is the final beneficiary of this process. We need you to be vigilant. Do not see infrastructure pertaining to power and think it belongs to 4 Power. If they cut off cable in your house, you will have outage. I will lose money, but you will be in darkness and to deny you all manner of things. So the people must take responsibility and own the network and ensure that nobody deny you the privilege of enjoying what you have earned and what you deserve. Once again, I thank all of you for coming here today, and I pray that this new beginning will indeed be a new beginning for Nigeria. God bless all of you.
Thank you so much, Sir Augustine Wokocha, the chairman
of 4 Power, my friend and brother, Sir Wokocha, the commissioner who just spoke, the MD of a Port Harcourt distribution company, Engineer Onanuga, other members of the High Table, and especially recognize the leadership of Labour, all the senior staff at station, and we, who are the people that have brought us thus far. I have a prepared speech today that I'm privileged on behalf of His Excellency, the Vice President, to present. As you know, today is another special day in the history of this country, because as we speak, in Africa, there's a ceremony going where the mother of the First Lady is being laid to rest. The Vice President and other dignitaries are there. But even if that were not the case, it would have removed his hands from the power sector and move into a place of providing leadership, guidance, and direction, while the private sector takes over the actual day-to-day running of the sector. Here in Port Harcourt today, we see what used to be NEPA, from NEPA to PHCN, move away after we sign in the next few minutes the papers, and 4Power takes over the provision of distribution of electricity to homes and business places around the Port Harcourt area. It is a day of history, and it's a day of culmination of more than 14 years of a process that government embarked upon to bring change. We started with the policy in 2001 of reforming the power sector. In 2005, we had the Electricity Power Sector Reform Act. After some time, there was no effort. Then in 2010, President Goodluck Jonathan now unveiled the roadmap for the power sector. And the roadmap said, we are going to completely remove the hand of government in power. There was a lot of negativism. There was a lot of skepticism. There was a lot of cynicism. And there was a lot of people saying it will not work. Who will buy these things from you? Ladies and gentlemen, this is the first time in the history of privatization, not in Africa but in the whole world, that the government in any jurisdiction in the world decided to move away and allow the private sector completely drive a sector that the government was completely in charge of. At the time, people told the president, why don't you start with Lagos? And after Lagos, then you start with Kaduna, gradualism, or a program that will take us 40 years to accomplish as many countries have done. But Mr. President said, the Nigerian people have suffered enough. Government is not the best in doing business. Government's role always is to provide direction, leadership, regulation, and the appropriate enabling environment. We saw it in the banking sector, we saw it in the telecommunication, we've seen it in other areas. There was a day in Nigeria when every hotel was owned by government. There was a day when completely for you to make a phone call, you spend a whole day and you celebrate when you're able to call through abroad. Government moved away and the Nigerian private sector showed that it is resilient, it is courageous, and when it comes to matter, private sector will stand for this country. Mr. President said, give them the chance, and the journey started. The journey started by the process which Onanuga has detailed, a transparent process, bidding process that the international community acknowledged was very transparent, and perhaps the most transparent again process of privatization ever seen, particularly on the African continent. Mr. President handed over 25% share certificates to the preferred new owners of these assets. On the 30th of September 2013, Mr. President handed over the remaining 75% and full share certificates to the new owners. Today, we are not only gathering here for a ceremony, but today we are reclining back as government to hand over to Four Powers the provision of electricity in the homes of people within the Port Harcourt area covered by the Port Harcourt Distribution Company. That we have our workers here with us. It was thought that government, like other things that have happened in the past, will not keep its own part of the contract, and the government will not pay any person. Mr. President instructed that PHCN workers must be fully paid their severance benefits and their retirement savings account benefits. Last night, if you watch the news, the leadership, the President General of NUI and the President General of SSAEC sat side by side with me, senior staff and junior staff, where they said light will always be in Nigeria. Let all workers continue working because government is paying, and almost all of us have been paid. As at last night, we had paid 40,698 workers their entitlements, their severance. As at last night, we had paid in 14,700 workers their pension element. The pension element, we couldn't get to 40,000 because there were a lot of complications. Names were duplicated, dates of birth were duplicated, people have forgotten the original names which they filled. In some parts, somebody starts, for example, he can say, my name is Alexander Tonye, then he will now in his document put Alex T. There are all kinds of problems like that, which we have to make sure that after we pay, you are able to access your money. Labour saw the evidence that government has moved the entire money for payment of the pension out of government into the custodian. So for those that have not seen the alerts on the pension component, the money is no more with the government, the money is now with the custodian, who is verifying together with Pencom, and your money is being paid. There's no way for the money to come back to government. Government has completely kept its part of the obligation, and for that we are very grateful to government, but we're also grateful to labor leaders who showed a lot of courage, who negotiated very hard for their members, and who at the time when there was the chairman of FOPA said a few things on it, but let me just add that the power sector has entered a phase when it will be a buyer and a seller's market. Government will stay at the sideline and regulation. Let Nigerians realize that the best is yet to come in the power sector. The private sector owners have shown us their business plans. Before the assets were sold to them, we've seen their plans for investment. We've seen what they intend to do. And the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission, NERC, which is the regulator, will continue to regulate the day-to-day activities of these companies. These companies will not fix tariffs. We want to correct the impression that with privatization, tariffs will jump overnight. No. Tariffs will always be reflective of the rights of the consumer and of the investment being made by the investor. There's a balance that will be made, and consumers will have better electricity for prices that will be more competitive, for prices that will be better. No worker in the electricity sector ever knows a feeling of loss. On the contrary, the new owners have shown us that most of you will be kept in business, will be paid, will be employed. The new owners have shown us that they will employ a lot of people. So we are also entering a season when many of our young men and women that all of us see with pain seeking for jobs will have jobs being created around the Port Harcourt area. I want to thank all of you for gathering here for this ceremony. And we pray that the same God that gave Mr. President the boldness, the courage which nobody could do to open up this sector, enjoy the benefits of this privatization of our sector. I thank all of you.
Thank you very much. We must manage through one more time. Put your hand on His Excellency, Ambassador Dr. Governor Bukari. The resilience to continue to make everything work well. Well, at this point in time, we have just 2 more items to go. The core of the matter.
The CEO is here and Full Power is also here. These are the certificates. One is for Full Power and the other one will return to Abuja. But here, sir, we will sign it before the eyes of the world and we will formally hand it over. I wish to call on the chairman first and foremost for the signing ceremony before we hand it over. Thank you very much, sir. And the handover notes to the chairman of Full Power Group.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are witnesses here to this event. And we also have son of the soil, Professor Agio Benibo, who is special advisor to the president. That's in the office of the vice president. He has witnessed on behalf of His Excellency, the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Architect Mohammed Ahmad Sambo, GC Board, Chairman, National Council on Privatization. It is my privilege and honor to hand over the certificate of transfer of ownership of the Port Harcourt Distribution Company to Full Power as a final conclusion of the process of privatization of the power sector affecting this area. Similarly, the chairman of Full Power, the handover report containing details of the state of the Port Harcourt Distribution Company area. From now, it is Full Power belonging to the 4 power states of the area. I'm sure my collaborator in this process, the chairman of 4 power, would like to express the state of his mind. So we sit down.
And the residents of the 4-Power, the Port Harcourt Electricity Distribution Company area, thank you for this great feat. Let me assure you that we are taking this responsibility knowing that the task ahead of us is enormous and that we are determined to do everything that is doable to ensure that power becomes stable in this part of the country. It is our intention to be the first company and the first region where power will be stabilized and 24-hour power supply will be available to the people. Because on our side, with the continuous support of the federal government and all the states that will be serving, we assure you that we will not let you down. Thank you, and thank you, and God bless you.
The Vice President through Ambassador Gali and those who have spoken on this side have said that this is a landmark in the history of Nigeria. And that for us to move forward, the power sector must be in order. And here we have also watched, even in other countries, that the only way we can get out of this power problem in Nigeria is through privatization. And this has been settled today, at least in this sector. I want to assure you that nobody wants to throw in his money and not get it back in any investment. And that the 4-Power company is ready to make sure that they don't lose in this investment. There is hope for Nigeria, there is hope for all of us. Those of us who are here will go back smiling that with the vibe from today, we won't be having problems of power failure because the company will be losing money. Because if service is not properly rendered, then of course, no person will be prepared to pay money to 4-Power. So we are very sure that this that we have been experiencing in the past will change for good and for Nigeria. Thank you very much.
A vote of thanks by the chairman of the Transition Committee, and the closing prayers and national anthem will be done. And I'm sure we'll see the vote of thanks, then we'll go over to the president.
I'm also standing on the existing protocol, and I don't intend to belabor this afternoon's program for all of us who are very busy. My job is simple. First and foremost is to say thank you all for coming. Thank you all, and we thank God most sincerely for allowing us to see this day. Today is historical, and we are sincerely grateful to God. Having mentioned that, sir, let me pin myself a little bit down to that I must not escape. Number one, I want to be grateful to His Excellency, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, GCFRO, for his executive support. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a whole day's speech if I want to explain executive support. It takes only executive support to see this day come to pass. And for that, we are expressing our unalloyed thanks to Mr. President. Having mentioned that, I want to also say thank you to the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Architect Nnamdi Sambo, for being so much available for us as a father. Without his opening his doors, we will not have even had access to go further for executive support. Again, we are grateful to him. Ladies and gentlemen, I could go on and on to mention names here. Institutional bankers, everybody, NEC, all agencies that have been of support, Central Bank, and all of them. But sir, I want to say at this point, human frailty will not allow me to continue mentioning names. Even on this high table, if I want to start from my immediate right, I might start missing names. Because of that, I want to say thank you again and again to everyone that we have not mentioned, to everyone we have not even introduced today, for every one of you for coming. My prayer, like the chairman of 4 Power said, darkness will disappear from our lives. In the name of Jesus. And Johnny Mercy's home.
Thank the people of the Port Harcourt area, distribution company area, for the cooperation that they have been giving to government to provide electricity. Today, government has removed its hands to move to private sector. Things will be better. More jobs will be created because there will be a lot of expansion. The private sector will bring a lot of expansion, and we need to give them the chance. So we enjoin all our youth to work together with a new company, give them time. They will need a little bit of time. They put a lot of money to buy these things. They will now need time to invest. So we call on our people, especially those who are involved in vandalism, who go to dig sand near poles, who destroy cables, destroy transformers. It's not government asset, it's for all of us. So we call on all to work together with 4 Power. They promised that this part of the country will be the first part that to give electricity 24 hours. Fortunately, there's a lot of gas in this area, so they can easily expand and go into beyond distribution, even into generation. So let us cooperate with them to make this Niger Delta area stand out as the home of power supply in Nigeria. Well, you know, with this new arrangement, a lot of jobs will be created. Just like people are selling recharge card for telecommunication, very soon there will be recharge card sellers for the power sector. Because the power will now be provided by private people. People can now, you can buy a recharge card for power, they will have vendors all over. So I'm sure they will take measures to ensure that this is streamlined so that touts don't come into the sector. Thank you very much.
Which is the major ingredient for power generation in Nigeria. We have also made huge investments, each state, towards making the network dependable and reliable. The only reason why we do not have power today in parts of this country, is the fact of human interface. Today, a private sector-driven business has emerged. We will have the choice to swim or to sink. If we do not swim, there's nobody to help us, to keep us afloat. So we will run, we will strive, we will do everything that is within our power to do. We'll put in the best effort, and we know we'll get results because we have the right environment.
All right, sir, what about the workforce, the staff? They are the problems we're having. So
no, they are not the problem. They are not the problem. They were working in an environment and in a situation that did not enable them to excel. Today, we are going to empower them to lead in their respective units and ensure that they deliver to the people. Thank you very much.